Good morning and welcome to NewsDive. It's Friday, August 15th, 2025, and the time is 10 a.m. Here are today's top stories from Sri Lanka and around the world. In politics and governance, the new Inspector General of Police, Priyantha Weerasurya, has officially taken charge. He has vowed to neutralize the netherworld of crime and drugs, with a particular focus on politicians linked to underworld activities. The new IGP also promises to instill discipline, honor, and dignity within the police force. Meanwhile, Senior Superintendent of Police Satish Gamaj has been arrested over bribery and money laundering involving 14 million rupees in bribes and has been remanded until August 19th. After 42 years, major renovations have begun on the Parliament complex to modernize its facilities, with the Army leading the project. The Committee on Public Finance has approved the Gambling Regulatory Authority Bill, which aims to regulate gambling activities across the country. In opposition politics, the GL-led opposition has clarified that the Samaji Jana Balavegaya, or SJB, is not involved in current unity talks. Additionally, Jaffna MP Ramanathan Arjuna plans to file a complaint against the Speaker, alleging that his microphone was disabled for 8 days, preventing him from speaking in Parliament. Turning to the economy and business sector, the central bank governor reports that Sri Lanka is ahead of its target for debt sustainability. Corporate earnings are strong, with Aitken Spence posting a 4.1 billion rupee EBITDA for the first quarter of fiscal year 2025-26. Hatton National Bank reported a 42.5% growth in profit after tax for the first half of 2025, reaching 23.16 billion rupees. National Development Bank also recorded an all-time high profit after tax of 4.2 billion rupees for the same period, while Bank of Ceylon's profit before tax surged 165% year-on-year to 59.4 billion rupees. Sri Lanka Customs has launched a new web-based documentation system aimed at improving transparency and efficiency in import and export processes. However, 400 containers of imported salt remain stuck at Colombo Harbor due to bureaucratic delays, with salt producers urging enforcement of packaging laws. In regulatory news, Sri Lanka has allowed regulated cannabis cultivation under strict rules, with cultivation licenses to be renewed every 6 months. An IPS report warns that U.S. tariffs on Sri Lankan goods could cost the country $634 million in export losses. On the energy front, Sri Lanka plans to seek private investors for its first 160-megawatt battery energy storage system. In international relations, a high-profile meeting between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin is scheduled today in Alaska, focusing on Ukraine peace talks. The U.S. Treasury has warned of increased tariffs on India if these talks fail. The UN High Commissioner has pushed for international criminal court trials on Sri Lankan leaders. Scientists have issued a mega tsunami warning for the U.S. Pacific coast, cautioning about a possible 1,000-foot tsunami triggered by a major earthquake along the Cascadia subduction zone. Meanwhile, deadly wildfires continue to wreak havoc in Greece and other parts of Europe amid ongoing heat waves. In other news, Melania Trump has threatened to sue Hunter Biden for $1 billion over an Epstein-related claim, and the U.S. has imposed sanctions on Brazilian health officials over Cuba's overseas medical missions. On the crime and security front, gang violence has been reported in Hanwela and Migota, with 2 shootings occurring in one night. Police are investigating sabotage of a Sri Lanka Transport Board bus in Nuwara Eliya, where urea fertilizer was poured into the engine. Authorities arrested a man linked to a gangster, leading to the discovery of army uniforms and drugs. 7 suspects have been arrested over a fatal assault in Sidua, and a man died after being hit by an express train in Kalutara. The Alcohol and Drug Information Center has raised concerns over the security and economic viability of cannabis cultivation. Weather-wise, showers are expected today across the western, Sabaragamuwa, and northwestern provinces, including districts such as Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gale, and Matara. In education and innovation, the National Innovation Agency is leading an awareness initiative to strengthen Sri Lanka's position in the Global Innovation Index. Ruhuna University will hold an international symposium on agriculture and environment, themed Driving Innovations in Agricultural Technologies for Climate Action and Sustainability. Sri Lanka is also set to host its first ever National AI Expo and Conference this September. The Data Protection Authority plans to resume operations by early 2026, with recruitment underway and amendments to the Personal Data Protection Act in progress. Sports highlights include Ranuk Jayasuriya scoring his maiden century for SSC, Royal College booking a semi-final berth, and Donara reaching the final without losing a single point. Sri Lanka has risen to fourth place in the ICC Men's ODI rankings. The Sri Lankan T20 League final is scheduled for today at the SSC Stadium, featuring the Greens versus the Greys, captained by Kamindu Mendes and Charith Asalanka, respectively. However, the hockey final was halted due to violent conduct by St. Thomas's Mateo players. On the international front, Paris Saint-Germain won the UEFA Super Cup on penalties against Tottenham. In environment and health news, there have been a staggering 234 rail fatalities in the first 7 months of 2025. Only 21% of diabetics in Sri Lanka receive continuous treatment. The alcohol and drug watchdog has again raised concerns about cannabis cultivation. Deforestation continues to contribute to increased human-elephant conflict. In entertainment and culture, Taylor Swift has announced a new album titled The Life of a Showgirl. Disney has partnered with Webtoon to launch 100 titles featuring Marvel, Star Wars, and more. The third season of Squid Game has powered Netflix's lead in Korea's premium video on-demand market. J-pop idol Kenshin Kamimura was found guilty of indecent assault in Hong Kong. Meanwhile, Regina Kant's film Coolie has set a record with $2 million in U.S. pre-sales. In technology, WhatsApp reports attempts by Russia to block its services. Igor Babushkin, co-founder of Elon Musk's XAI, has resigned. Sri Lanka plans to introduce a new AI system to track bus data and boost efficiency. Finally, on the market front, the Colombo Stock Exchange saw slight declines in the ASPI and S&P SL20 indices amid profit-taking, though market turnover was boosted by banks and financials. The Sri Lankan rupee experienced a slight depreciation against the US dollar. That wraps up your NewsDive update for this Friday morning. Thank you for joining us. Have a great day ahead.